What's up fam, my name is Jess, I'm the creator of Pinkrex, and today we're going to be covering the second half of the Pokemon Iceberg. If you like this sort of content and you haven't done this already, on the next rainy day, please dip both of the like button's windshield wipers in peanut butter right before they have to leave for work. Also subscribe to my channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Alright. Let's get started. Just as a brief recap, if you're not super familiar with the iceberg chart video trend, it is just a way of organizing information from most known to least known in the hopes that fewer and fewer people will know what it's in reference to as we go down each layer. We already covered the first two layers of this iceberg chart in my previous video, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started right away with layer 3. The first item in layer 3 is swearing in the Sword and Shield games. This entry is referring to the state of the profanity filter when you're naming your Pokemon in Sword and Shield. Game Freak has been odd about determining which words are acceptable and which words aren't. Some relatively wholesome nicknames have been deemed inappropriate for unclear reasons, while others that are clearly derogatory have been allowed to slip by. For instance, nicknaming your Pokemon Chi-Chi is banned, but nicknaming your Sandaconda Foreskinny is totally acceptable. Something to consider for players who only speak English is that the name doesn't have to mean anything in English. But since you can trade to a game with a different language, for example in mystery trades to other countries, the filters are shared. As a wholesome side note, Chi-Chi means titties in Spanish. The next item on the list is that Kalos characters will never return. The first character that fans of the anime probably think of when they think of the Kalos region is Serena. She's a Pokemon performer and trainer who was one of Ash's traveling companions and gave Ash his first kiss at the end of his journey through Kalos. Many sources say that fans who are waiting for her return better be okay with continuing to wait because there are no official indications for her return at this time. Other sources say that she will definitely be returning due to the nature of her relationship with Ash. I guess only time will tell. Honestly, I am 100% pro cute relationships in TV shows. For example, Aang and Katara in Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though we all know it should have been Zuko and Katara, but we don't have to talk about that right now. The third item in the third tier is the Yoshi Dragonite prank. In 1999, the editors of Nintendo Power, which was a monthly news and strategy magazine that ceased publication in 2012, posted a short article entitled Hidden Yoshi that detailed a long and complicated set of directions and qualifications that would allow you to evolve Dragonite into Yoshi in Pokemon Red and Blue. Nintendo even posted screenshots to prove that Yoshi really was in the game and he really was attainable by following all of the directions. Much to the disappointment of the players, it really was just a prank. The last item in the third tier is that Ditto is a failed Mew. I feel like this entry would have fit better in the first or second layer of the iceberg, since it seems significantly more common than any of the other entries in this tier, but the fact that Ditto is found in the location where experimentation on Mew's DNA to create Mewtwo is said to have taken place in the games really backs this theory up, and, you know, the fact that they're both the color of something in between Andean flamingos and 2018's version of Thanos also backs up the theory. Moving on to the next layer, we have level 4, the Midnight Zone. The first topic in layer 4 is banned episodes. The Pokemon anime has aired a whopping 1,178 episodes since its release in 1997, and almost all of them have positive reviews from both critics and fans alike. There are always some exceptions though, and if you're a veteran of the franchise, you'll know that Pokemon is no stranger to controversy. There are over 30 episodes that were either banned or unaired due to mature and offensive content. Again. The second topic in layer 4 is that Mewtwo isn't the best. Mewtwo is one of the first legendary Pokemon mentioned by the franchise and has appeared in several movies, episodes, and video games over the years. As its name suggests, Mewtwo is a modified clone of the legendary Pokemon Mew, and it has proven time and time again to be a very powerful Pokemon with a very dark past. The fact that it's an inherently dark Pokemon always made it feel like kind of the most badass Pokemon to have in your team. Whether or not it's the most powerful Pokemon ever is widely up for debate, but come on. We all know that the most powerful Pokemon out there is Snom. The next topic on our list is that the 3 legendary beasts were formerly eevees. It's a popular fan theory that the 3 legendary beasts, or I always call them legendary dogs, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, were originally Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. The story from 1999's Pokemon Gold and Silver says that the 3 Pokemon perished in the flames of Burned Tower in the Johto region. Afterward, Ho-Oh revived the Pokemon into forms that were representative of the events that caused the building to burn down, Raikou for the lightning that struck the building, Entei for the fire that burned the building, and Suicune for the rain that put it out. A similar fan theory exists that they were originally just regular animals, Entei being a lion, Suicune being a wolf, and Raikou being a leopard, but the eevee theory sounds a little bit more plausible to me. The last item in layer 4 is that the timeline makes no sense. Like other popular Nintendo properties, the Pokemon games do have something of a confusing timeline. It's noted by the fanbase that the main games do form a vague order in which the games might have taken place in time. It's generally accepted that the earliest game in the timeline was actually the most recent release, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and the last in the timeline is either Sun and Moon and their Ultras or Sword and Shield. But it's important to remember that there's a lot of debate surrounding nearly everything in between. The first topic in layer 5 is, do humans eat Pokemon? And the answer is yes. Yes, they do. There's a Megamart in Slowpoke. There's a Megamart in Ultra Sun and Moon that sells Slowpoke Tail quiche and also Slowpoke Tail on salad, which sounds kind of gross. I like salad, but I can't imagine eating a tail on one. And in the show, Ash and Brock have a vivid fantasy of cooking and eating a Magikarp. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. Could be tasty. Who knows? So unless it would happen that somebody in the Pokemon universe is outspokenly vegan, there's a very high probability that they have eaten Pokemon before. The next topic in Layer 4 is that Clefairy was the original mascot. We all recognize Pikachu as the mascot of the series, but the original mascot, when it was originally being created, was Clefairy. It's believed that the Pokemon series mascot was changed before the first games came out in 1996 from Clefairy to Pikachu because Game Freak felt that Clefairy would only appeal to girls and Pikachu would appeal to everyone. We all love a good fat rat. A little known fact is that despite what the media would have you believe, there was actually another mascot change with the release of 2019 Sword and Shield to the all-powerful Snom. The third topic in Layer 5 is that Jinx is a banned design. Yeah, I don't think I have to talk about this one. We're just moving on. The last topic in Layer 5 is that every Pokemon obtained from a lab isn't theirs. I couldn't really find much information on this, but I think this is referring to every time a professor gives you a Pokemon starter from the lab. There's no detailed explanation from either the anime or the game as to where lab Pokemon actually come from, but from various references, mostly from the manga, but some from the show, it's believed that every professor has a secret location where their starter Pokemon or bred Pokemon are overseen by breeders. The location where the Pokemon are bred and raised is kept a tight secret to avoid attention from unsavory groups who would use the Pokemon there for, I don't know, unsavory things. Evil. Alright, last layer. The first topic on the last layer of the iceberg is the unknown lady in the intro. If you've never had it specifically brought up to you before, it's pretty likely that you didn't even notice. I know I didn't notice before researching for this. In the intro to the first episode of the anime, there's a scene where Pikachu runs under the legs of a girl with a green skirt and brown hair. Her presence in the intro sequence only lasts for about a second, but it still begs the question, who is she? A lot of people say that she resembles a generic lass from the video games, and I'd have to agree, but she's not exactly the same. The most likely explanation really is that she's not meant to be anyone at all. The lyrics during this portion of the intro roughly translate to, for example, in fire, in water, in grass, in forests, in earth, in clouds, in that girl's skirt. So it's generally accepted that she's just there to go with the lyrics of the song. Up next we have that Pokemon is banned in the anime. Yep, okay. Up next we have that Porygon is banned in the anime. In 1997, an episode of the Pokemon anime entitled Cyber Soldier Porygon aired in Japan. During the episode, missiles are being launched at Ash and his friends, and eventually this causes Pikachu to attack the missiles being fired. This attack caused bright red and white flashes to go across the screen and sent nearly 700 children in Japan to the hospital, with 2 of them having to stay for over 2 weeks. If you're like me and you're doing research for a Pokemon iceberg, it is on YouTube should you feel compelled to look it up. Just please be mindful of the flash warnings. I am serious, it gave me a pounding headache. The second to last topic of the iceberg is that Ash is immortal. A solid portion of the Pokemon fanbase, myself included, grew up with Pokemon, but Pokemon never really grew up with us. The most recent anime series entitled Pokemon Master Journeys aired in Japan back in December of 2020, and somehow Ash is still 10. Mathematically speaking, since Ash was 10 when the series came out, he would have had to have been born in 1987. That would make him 35, which clearly, by the writers stating Ash's age over and over again in the anime series, he is not. There are a few theories about how Ash has stayed so young over the course of the anime series. One of the leading theories is that when Mewtwo turned Ash into stone in Pokemon the first movie, his body was frozen in time. The tears of the surrounding Pokemon revived Ash, allowing him to function normally without ever aging. There was another, more compelling theory, in my opinion, surrounding a single Pokemon. At the end of the first episode of the anime, Ash and Pikachu see Ho-Oh flying by overhead. It was a big moment in the show since Ho-Oh's design hadn't been revealed yet, but it's also the most logical explanation for Ash's seemingly eternal childhood. According to the Pokedex entries in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it said that those who see Ho-Oh are promised eternal happiness. So it's assumed that Ash's version of eternal happiness would just be to continue his Pokemon adventure with Pikachu forever, and Ho-Oh's appearance granted him that wish. The last entry on the iceberg is, fittingly, I think, the darkest entry, depending on your feelings for consuming Pokemon, I guess. The last entry is that Ash was in a coma and all of his adventures were just in his imagination. As the topic says, Ash's adventures were just all dreams he had while in a coma. And this theory comes from a very specific moment in episode 1 of the anime. During the episode, Ash steals Misty's bike to rush a fainting Pikachu to the Pokemon Center. Very soon after, Ash falls off the bike, sits there for a few seconds, and then gets back up. So the theory goes that Ash fell off the bike, got a concussion, and the coma dreams, or adventures, start after he wakes up following the incident. Personally, I don't really buy this theory because the show is specifically catered towards a pretty young audience, and while it does address some darker themes like neglect or abandonment of specific Pokemon, or when Luxray freezes in 2017's movie I Choose You, it really doesn't fit the overarching narrative. And that's gonna do it for today, guys. If you liked the video, remember to please on the next rainy day dip both of the like button's windshield wipers in peanut butter right before they have to leave for work. Also, please drop a comment down below with what you thought of the video, or if I missed anything, or if you disagree with any of the theories. Also, please subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I also have a ton of content over on TikTok where my username is the same as my handle on here. It's just pinkrex with 2 X's. You can also find me over on Instagram if you'd like to follow me there. My username is again just pinkrex with 2 X's. Whether I see you on one of the platforms I just listed or down in the comment section below, just know I really appreciate your support and I still have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, thanks, bye! I did it! I did the thing!